Welcome back. The biggest collection of TV and film memorabilia in Australia can be found right here in Perth, including the actual camera used in WA's very first broadcast back in 1959. It's hidden away in a building in Dalkeith, but as Mark Gibson reports, collectors would dearly love all West Australians to enjoy its history.
Well, here is the history of cinema and television in Western Australia.
It's a remarkable treasure trove of modern history. 60 years of television and more than a century of cinema.
Cinema slides, photographs, books, magazines. We're absolutely bursting at the seams.
Therein lies the problem. It's all currently housed in a small building at the old Sunset Hospital in Dalkeith.
There's an awful lot of things we are planning to do, but just do not have the room.
Roy Mudge worked in WA cinemas for more than 50 years. He and his fellow volunteers from the TV industry have acquired an extraordinary collection, a window to our past.
This would have to be the biggest and unique collection of television and cinema in Australia, if not the Southern Hemisphere.
Welcome to television in Western Australia.
When TVW Channel 7 became WA's first station to hit the air in October 1959, this was the very first camera used in that broadcast.
If this was not here, it's irreplaceable.
3 years later, in 1962, a major breakthrough.
This is the first videotape machines used at Channel 7.
50,000 people filled to capacity the superb Perry Lake Stadium.
Perth was hosting the Empire and Commonwealth Games at Perry Lakes. This state-of-the-art machine meant what was broadcast on TV could be recorded on tape for the first time.
Now, we were used to audio tape for various things for many years, but this was the first of the videotapes.
So this was completely cutting edge?
Yeah, so this was absolutely the changing of the world as far as television was concerned.
Our machine here is only one of two that exist in the world. The other one is in America.
The ABC's first camera was rescued from a rubbish tip in Geraldton, and with all three commercial stations moving from Dianella in recent years, mountains of old equipment almost suffered the same fate.
It was an endless convoy of trucks going backwards and forwards to the stations, collecting the equipment as it was being discarded. And of course, naturally, it had to come here.
The cinema gear dates back even further, including a 120-year-old hand-cranked 35mm silent film projector. And you'd have to do that the whole way through the movie?
You had to do this all the way through the movie, but at this time, the movies were only short length of 10 minutes or so. Even then, you had to get tired cranking one hand, so you had to learn how to change over without missing a beat.
They've had small groups through, but with a severe lack of space, the dream is to show off this multi-million-dollar collection to students and tour groups. They've made a submission to the state government for a bigger building.
A building 4 times the size of this present one would be more than sufficient for us to do everything that we wanted to do.
With technology continually changing so quickly, if this stuff isn't preserved, it'll be gone forever.
So it is very important from a historical point of view that this collection is saved.